The creature. The sound paralyzed me. I can't say for how long I lay in my bed. Well, frankly, I wasn't lying, I was stiff as a board. It wasn't long before the sweats came and I was just staring at my ceiling. Believe me, the urge to flee was there, but it was overpowered, not for seconds but for long minutes. Too long. Enough for whatever was down there to enjoy a cup of tea before popping up for a quick meal. The creature was said to be no larger than a man, smaller even. And, importantly, dormant. The awakening was not to occur for centuries, when what was left of me was ravaged by maggots. But then there was the dreadful, muffled sounds of tapping, rapping, ticking, the raspy, labored breathing which escaped the basement as though there was no foundation of wood and concrete between us. The rebirthing had begun. A small voice of courage asserted itself, and I reclaimed control of my body. I went first to the rifle, recalling the tales of the beast's power. Very little had remained of the last fellow, scattered about the basement floor, and he was better armed than me. The ammunition shrunk in my hands. My resolution the day prior that I would have no such end seemed laughable now. I knew that the creature's awakening could be neither stalled nor stifled. I collected the liquids, then approached not an atom closer to the basement door than required. The creature's dissonant, almost musical wheezing threatened to stopper my heart before its infamous stalagmite claws had the chance. I steadily poured out the contents of the first tankard, then the second, then the third. They disappeared beneath the door and hopefully down the steps into the darkness in which the creature writhed away centuries of sleep. In its harsh effusions, I detected pain, even breathlessness, and a hope sprouted in me. Perhaps something had gone wrong with the awakening, one of the ritual pieces was out of place, and the creature had been birthed only to die from some technical failure. But hope was dangerous, so I discarded it. The last of the petroleum dripped from the third tankard, and I allowed myself a sigh of relief. I threw some clothing and pre-wrapped victuals out the window to land safely on the soft, cold grass, enough to make the slow passage to the next town. I winced violently at an agonized shriek from the creature which startled the horse outside to a panicked whinny, and almost froze me once more. "Stay, Susie," I said. "Come, now. It's okay." My skin went cold when I realized my mistake, and I listened like the dead for the creature's sounds. A naked silence chilled me. My fingers shook as I flailed between my kitchen drawers until they wrapped around the matches. The drumming I felt was that of my heart, for I knew no other living soul was nearby. Susie and I crossed the porch, limping into the engulfing darkness on her maimed leg. The creature was powerful, I was sure, but of its speed I had heard nothing. Could it catch an old, injured horse? It took 3 nervous tries to set the trail aflame. I lay a hand on Susie's mane. "There's a good girl." Then I threw the match. It had been a beautiful home, and generations of families had warmed it. But the evil that had brewed below was cosmic, and for its ultimate expiry this price was cheap. The fire burned high, the sparks leaping out in luminous arcs. My heart finally began to slow when the creature's rasping was overtaken by the whirl of the flames and the crackling, snapping timbers. The giant flame flickered in Susie's fearful eyes, and again I ran my hands across her neck, quieting her frightened blowing. By then, the creature below the house must have been burning.